It's the Pat and Stacey podcast, and there's just the microphone sitting there. Hold on. What?
I'm here.
Pass out?
I'm here. Am I here? I'm here.
You're
Okay.
there. Yeah.
It's good. No, I didn't. I just had to real quick. My Jack is outside. And so I was
That
just
was funny.
checking. I'm like,
If you're
I
not
gotta run
watching
real
this episode, you're just listening to this episode, you need to Fridays and Mondays we do Facebook, YouTube live every week. And yeah, we just came out and it was just me here and then an empty microphone at your
The
house.
empty chair, the empty microphone. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that was really funny.
All right. So obviously, because everybody else is talking about the same thing. We got to talk about the Oscars.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the Oscars. I was watching like when I say watching, paying attention to a couple of accounts that were covering the Oscars. So you got a lot of highlights.
Yeah.
And so the slap heard around the world. If you didn't watch the Oscars and you want to look it up, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, went up on stage, assaulted him, and walked back off.
A couple things on that too. First of all, you can go to Hollywood Raw at Hollywood Raw on Instagram, and they have the video of it, and then they have the unbleeped version of it, so you can hear exactly what he says because it was long, blocked out bleep of.
I sent you that too. Did you get the one from Japan?
Yeah, that
was
their
version.
Yeah,
and they didn't bleep it.
Yeah, they didn't care.
They just let it roll.
I'm like you. I wasn't watching it live either. We were watching something else, but something. Yeah, we were.
Then he was
like, oh my God, is this real life? And I'm like, this 3 minutes ago. What happened? So I went back on Hulu and rewound it and saw it.
So the long story short is that Chris Rock was being Chris Rock, and he was getting ready to do an introduction, and he made reference to some people in the audience, and one of them was Jada Pinkett Smith, and referenced "Can't wait for G.I. Jane 2," and then rolled on. And then next thing you know, Will came up on stage and slapped him, open-handed slap.
Right, which is both surprising and humiliating at the same time. Sasha and I were talking about this morning. I've never been slapped. She's been slapped one time, and it's like you're taken back, and then you're like, you'd almost rather be punched than slapped. It's just
I have never seen, aside from a period piece from the 1800s where a man slapped another man with his gloves.
Right.
Slap, slap. I've never heard of a man slapping another man.
Like, is there a difference
That's
between
even
close fist and slap when it comes to like assault charges?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. I just wondered.
No, he's not going to get a lesser. But the thing is that it's this, if this had been any other, and we might finish the story. As he walked back to his chair, Chris Rock, stunned, but held it together. And then he told Chris Rock 2 times to keep my wife's name out of your bleeping mouth. Yelled it across the auditorium. And you have Venus and Serena Williams behind him. And some other cast members as well from whatever. What is it? Sir Richard? Lord Richard? What's in it? King Richard? What's the name of it?
King Richard, I think. I haven't seen it. So
Richard William? It's the story of Serena and Venus's father and their upbringing. That's what it is. And he plays their father in the movie. But anyway, the cast is behind him and they're all just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
What?
You know.
So,
and
so many angles
later on, he wins for Best Actor. So then that, people were like, oh my gosh, if he wins, it's going to be so awkward. What's he going to do? And the whole speech, he was just, crying and talking about being the protector. It was just,
he apologized to everybody but Chris Rock.
Yeah. Okay, so there is Beth's cousin. I know we've talked about this before during the Super Bowl. Beth's cousin is a floor manager for big events like this, halftime, the Super Bowl, Oscars, whatever. And she was there last night, and she had texted the family after this all happened. And first of all, her mom was saying, like, is this fake? What's going on? She's like, no, it wasn't fake. And after they went to commercial, a couple people came over to Will Smith, and Chris Rock actually came down and talked to him and Jada. So she didn't know, she wasn't close enough to hear what they said, but they did have a conversation and it wasn't heated. So I'm assuming they probably said their piece and whatever are going to move on past it. Who knows? But at least they did have a conversation after it happened. It was just weird. I thought it was, and I tell you what, some of the takes on it are just all over the place, serious and funny. But one of them says, it appears Will Smith's marriage is open to everything except jokes. Yeah, well, and he thought it was funny. If you look at the video, he thought it was funny at first until Jada didn't, because he laughed, and then Jada didn't think it, which is common in a marriage. You could think something's funny. If your wife doesn't think it's funny, it's not funny. So it's like
I
I
don't.
understand that.
Okay, so she has alopecia,
Mm-hmm.
and she's talked about this on her podcast. She wore turbans for quite a long time, and then she finally, as a matter of fact, there's even a video. Excuse me. She was on Instagram and posted basically that alopecia and I are going to be friends. And so she'd shaved her hair completely. So she wasn't dealing with just short hair or missing hair. And she decided, because for a long time she wore turbans to cover it up. And alopecia is an autoimmune disorder. So basically, inflammation, and her body, for whatever reason, when people have alopecia, and there's like 5 different kinds of it. I looked into it because I'm like, what exactly causes it? Well, it's basically an same thing like eczema. It's like it's your body is fighting something that's not there. And so it's an overreaction. And unfortunately, some people it's just some hair, some people it's all their hair all over their body. It's some people, it's just like male pattern baldness kind of appearance. But regardless, she had pretty much stated, you know what, I'm rocking this, and had shaved her head and had the bedazzled chain around her head, and kind of like a crown, and just like whatever. And so I was a little surprised, because to me, what Chris Rock doesn't seem like a mean guy.
No, he does not.
Right. And so when he threw that out there, to me, he was basically comparing her to a badass, G.I. Jane,
Mm-hmm.
which was meant to be. The movie was made almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, I've asked multiple people around the office, and half of them had more than half had no clue what it
G.I.
was.
Jane was, but whatever, and I think that was what, if you looked at the comments, in, like some of the, like if you're following some of the King Richard, thank you, Denise. If you're if you're following, some of the paparazzi type peeps, right?
Mhm.
And then you get in their comments and kind of see what people are saying, because
Yeah,
obviously people I follow weren't really talking about this. But there was a lot that were, and a lot of them didn't know what the reference even meant. And he said it with a smile on his face. And it was like, and then he just moved on. And then next thing you know, it's like, did she like kick him out of his chair and say, go up there and protect my honor? I don't know what the hell happened, right?
it was clearly an overreaction by Will Smith. I mean, who knows if she behind closed doors is ultra crazy sensitive about it. And I mean, you never know how people are going to how people react out in public. They might have this brave front,
Mhm.
but it really bothers them. And again, humongous overreaction by Will Smith, I
Mm-mm.
believe.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. And on top of it, any other person does that, they're arrested before they get back to their chair.
Yeah. I think it all depends. I think because Chris Rock, I think, is a good person, and I think he would never. It also depends on who got slapped, because if it was somebody else besides Chris Rock, they may have caused a problem. But
It,
I think they
but it
all knew
was
it wasn't
well,
meant
yeah.
evil.
He didn't fight back,
Yeah.
which somebody else might have.
Mm-hmm.
But you're on live TV.
He did a really good job of holding it together. Like,
I
I don't like when he's like, let's just go to the nominees. Like it's like that was where he kind of took a beat and took a breath. He did a good job of keeping it together. Cause I don't know. I mean, that was crazy.
It was
That really was
nuts.
crazy.
It was really nuts. And by the same time, again, go back to the whole apology. It's like you apologize to everybody except Chris Rock,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was a little lame. And then some of the other takes, which I thought this was kind of an interesting one. Um, this one, just the take of wealthy narcissists giving one another awards and celebrating their great success. Just a few days after our president tells us we're going to have a food shortage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Just the overall Oscars in general. That's why we watched some of the red carpet and the beginning part of it. And I love Wanda. I think Wanda Sykes is hilarious. And
That kind of, I don't
it
know.
was just a
Yeah.
douchey thing. It's just a whole douchey
Well,
event.
the
So
the Oscars, they're trying so hard not to step in it that they're stepping in it,
yeah.
because it's like they're afraid to come back with a host. Oh God, because God forbid we have another Ricky Gervais, right?
Mhm.
Um, so they don't want to do that, and so instead we'll have 19 hosts, and we'll rotate them through. And yeah, they brought out the 3 ladies, right? To have them do their bit. And then they had Chris Rock and they had others as well. And then you had the one that I thought was kind of interesting. Somebody pointed out that they had Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta with Uma Thurman,
Which was funny. I thought that was funny.
right? The 28th anniversary of
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction. So we're doing 28th anniversary celebrations now.
20. Oh, I didn't realize. I
It's
didn't
the
know that.
28th anniversary. It's like, okay.
Okay.
The In Memoriam. Sadly, they forgot Bob Saget.
Okay. I asked Beth. I'm like, did they forget Bob Saget? She goes, oh, they must have done it at the beginning and we didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't. And there was one other also, and I can't remember. Let me look here real quick. There was somebody else because Bob Saget passed away in January, and there was somebody else that also passed away in January that didn't get included. That's 2 months ago. But the sad part about with Bob Saget is not only was he known for playing Danny Tanner for Full House, but he also was in a number of films as an actor. And he did some directing as well. And he had, get this, he had won a Student Academy Award in 78, like when he was young,
Jeez.
for a documentary called Through Adam's Eyes. So he has a long history with the Academy.
That's a big oversight. I did like what they did with the memoriam section. Instead of just having it as they go to commercials, it goes on screen. They actually did something with it, and broke it up into segments and had music and people come up and talking. So I thought that was a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
overall, in general, Oscars equals total douchey.
Did you see any of the parts where, because they eliminated several of the awards and they did them previously and then they tried to stitch them together? Possibly as a time saver. I'm not really sure. But then they also took up the time by presenting during the show. So they took these 8 awards out of the show. So those people didn't get presented on stage live presentation. They got presented on the red carpet, but then they did the Twitter awards on the show. So you had the Twitter awards done live. That's for like fan favorite or some hashtag. I don't know.
There was this. Did you see what Sean Penn said too? Was it yesterday or the day before? Where he
it was about Zelensky.
Yeah. Said he was going to basically melt down his Oscars if the Academy didn't invite Zelensky to speak. First of all, Beth's like, and she's 100% right. That affects nobody but himself. Like melting down your Oscars means nothing. It just like the Academy doesn't care.
It's yours.
I mean, so and what an inappropriate, like you had just said about rich narcissists giving each other awards. What a horrible place to have him come pop in a war zone to talk about what's going on. It's like, we know it's terrible, and then we've got this pageantry going on. It would have been such a misplaced thing,
right?
In my opinion, yeah.
And honestly, he shouldn't really have a lot of time to pop into the Oscars.
I wouldn't think so
right now, but I know that was really a hot topic for a while.
I love it when people threaten to do things that only hurts themselves and nobody else. I mean, it's so
true. So true. Let's see. I was going to go back through. Were there any other little hot takes that they had on here? I'm trying to see if they're
kind of cool while you're scanning though.
Yeah.
I know you probably follow her, so you've seen this, but our old intern Tiffany, she's been on our show a few times. She works for the Hollywood Reporter now, went to UCL or USC and then stayed out there, and she's doing great. She was on the red carpet yesterday, and she's doing something with TikTok. I think it's at 1:30 Central. Like a recap of the Oscars, just she's hosting it. And she reposted a tweet from 2012 that said, hey, that was her first time at the Oscars. She tweeted, one of these days, I'm going to be on the red carpet doing this. Right now, I'm in the press bleachers screaming out questions or something like that. Reposted that. So exactly 10 years ago, she did that. And then she was on the red carpet last night asking all these celebrities questions. And now she's hosting something for TikTok today. Right.
Just proof. You just stick around long enough.
Yep.
Don't give up. I like Pam said, anytime I hear Sean Penn and Meltdown, I assume it just means him.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect branding for him.
He's over there shooting a documentary of some sorts, apparently. So, okay. Otherwise, as anything else, I don't know if there's anything else from the Oscars that really caught your attention, because I think everything else was pretty much overshadowed. Any good that was in? I think there was some mention about the fact that there was another female director that was honored. There were some other really good things that kind of all got overshadowed. It was his Kanye moment.
Like, I remember back in the day when you'd be so excited because you were so excited for who was hosting, because it was going to be hilarious and the bits they would do would be super funny. Last night wasn't very funny. There was a funny moment when it was after the slap heard around the world. It was like probably a half hour after, and Amy Schumer came out. She's like, well, there's a different vibe. Did something happen? Did I miss something? Was this a different vibe in the theater? What's going on? That was pretty funny. But other than that, that's about it.
Were they still sitting in the audience, I wonder?
Yeah, Will Smith was. I don't know. Yeah, Will Smith and Jada were. I don't think they ever left.
That's crazy. Did you know there's a petition that's out there? Somebody had posted it either the beginning of this year, I think it was, or the very end of last year, one of the two. It's just been out a couple, 3 months, but somebody petitioned to stop interviewing Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. It's got like 25,000 signatures because they're tired of it's like, oh my God, TMI for the love.
Yeah.
Would you quit talking to those two? Because they keep telling us everything. And of course, you've got her affair, and then you've got their open marriage, and then not an open marriage, and she had permission and he didn't give her permission. She doesn't need permission. And then
Right. Just
seriously,
quit telling us stuff. Just do what you do. Just quit telling us stuff. Right?
it's kind of hard to take him serious that he's so ripped up about that joke when all the things that have happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. All right. Was there anything else from there that you
I don't
were?
remember. I don't think so. I didn't.
I think
if I'm missing something.
really the weekend itself, we had the news about the Foo Fighters drummer passing away, Taylor Hawkins. And I don't know, did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
he died in Colombia. And they did get the report from Colombia that said that he had numerous drugs in his system.
First story I saw said 10, and then they added more the next day. I mean, that's sad.
Yeah. Because I think he leaves behind 2 kids as well. But John Stamos, I didn't know this. They were in contact, and his last message from Taylor Hawkins was, we've got to yet have a full hang, right? Like hang out together. Got to put this shit together before we die.
Wow.
And
That's very eerie.
isn't it? That was the last message that he had from it. I'm like, John Stamos, really? Okay. Didn't expect to see that. But yeah, the investigation into his death, he's just 50 years old. And like you said, it's multiple opioids, marijuana, some antidepressants. I mean, it's like some prescriptions, some not, it just quite a combination, and just really, really hit a lot of people because obviously fans. And then any other stories I think that were out there?
Is a drummer. Isn't he the drummer for Beach Boys, or an occasional drummer for the Beach Boys?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I couldn't remember what instrument he played.
That's right.
Maybe
Good
that's
job.
a connection. Yeah.
Maybe. Birds of a feather. I don't know.
Beach Boys and Foo Fighters, you don't picture them in the same camper, but maybe drummers all hang out.
Yeah. So other than that, the only other story I saw, there was one story, and I saw a rumor floating around. Sadly, that was bad choice of words. You saw the crash of the Chinese airplane. 132 people died.
I heard about it. Yeah, I didn't.
One of the stories that's floating around is that you may have heard the story about Fang Fang, the Chinese spy.
Oh, I know.
Right.
I'm not in that. I'm not in your algorithm, so I did not see that.
But well, you know about her, right?
I know about her, yes, but not her.
That's what I was saying.
Crash.
That's all I was asking was, about her
from you.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
The affair and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. And people are like, oh, she died on the plane. And so there must be something nefarious going on. Somebody named Fang Fang did, but the actual Chinese spy, her name is Christine Fang, but they call her Fang Fang.
Okay. So somebody really named Fang Fang died on the plane. Oh, wow.
Yeah, somebody really did, but that's where that story came from. But if you see that.
Okay.
Again, whatever.
Another
debunking. See, look at me. I'm not total tinfoil.
That's got to be your segment, is either conspiracy theories or debunking.
There you go. I like debunking things.
Yeah. Like that's going to be the name of the podcast. I like writing it down.
If I can, I will.
Things. Okay.
With a love, if I can, I will. And then let me see if there was anything else. I can't see anything else right off the top, because really that just dominated. Up until
the slap last night, there wasn't much to talk about.
It was
general
pretty thin, pretty slim pickings. But I have to say though too, because of the slap, I now know what his movie's about.
Right?
I didn't know.
Yeah, I think that there was a wardrobe malfunction during the Will Smith's speech. One of the Williams sisters, had
a slip.
And Dax thought it was like the tape that holds the whatever the dresses
down. I saw the picture too.
I don't think it was like a half moon tape.
I think that was an actual slip.
Yeah.
And she's lucky that Will decided to slap Chris.
Yes, right. Otherwise, we'd be talking about that. But I still don't understand how, if that it was a slip and it wasn't tape, which I think I'm with you. I think it is. How girls don't know that. You know, when your butt cracks hanging out, you feel the draft. If there was any possible opportunity that one of my testicles would be hanging out, I would know that I'd be on high alert, that I would know that that's happening. How do you not know that your areola is sticking out or your
Well, I'm going to say, if you're used to, or if I was wearing one of those, I would not be wearing a dress that I needed tape. Let's just start. I'm not wearing anything I need tape to keep the girls covered. That's not happening. Maybe to make sure you don't gap, but not. It was
Oh, it was there.
It was risky to begin with, even with, you saw the cutout, right?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking the way she was sitting, how she was kind of like she had her arms kind of like across, but she unfortunately didn't cover the target area.
Yeah.
And so when you see the picture where it pulled just a little bit, and I don't know if she turned wrong or what, but it was like.
And I get it's a big moment.
Right,
her movie win. I mean, the movie Best Actor, whatever, is a big moment for the family and for the movie. So I understand you're a little distracted, but I'm never too distracted to not cover up.
Oh, wait. I got to ask about the time you went through the drive-through.
Right. I take that all back. I'm going to delete that whole portion because, yes, you're right. I completely. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. When I was hanging ham at Taco Bell.
Yeah. Taco Bell hates you talking about that.
I know. I forgot about that. Dang it.
That happened a few years back, but
it was like at least 10 or 15 years back. That's back when it was age appropriate for me to wear holes, have jeans with holes in it. Yeah, and I apparently had a hole in my boxers as well, because I rolled up at Taco Bell and I had holes in my jeans down there. And after I grabbed the food from the nice 14-year-old Taco Bell worker, and I turned, and it just out there on the seat. It was disgusting.
Wow.
Yeah, so I take all that back. I apologize to the Williams sister that happened. You know what?
She appreciates that.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
Okay. All right.
So
there you go.
It can happen. So there you go. Oh boy, that
ended on that note.
Full circle, not to a place I didn't expect it to.
Kinda.
Thanks, Will Smith. Appreciate it. All right, you guys have a great rest of your Monday. Thanks for listening.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Huda Media Production.